The Gospel of the Holy 12, Lection 58. Divine love to the repentant. Jesus said unto the disciples and to the multitude around them, Who is the Son of God? Who is the daughter of God? Even the company of them who turn from all evil and do righteousness, love mercy, and walk reverently with their God. These are the sons and the daughters of man who come up out of Egypt, to whom it is given that they should be called the sons and daughters of God. And they are gathered from all tribes and nations and peoples and tongues. And they come from the east and the west and the north and the south. And they dwell on Mount Zion. And they eat bread, and they shall drink of the fruit of the vine at the table of God. And they see God face to face. Then drew near unto him all the tax gatherers and sinners for to hear him. And the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, This man receiveth sinners and eateth with them. And he spake this parable unto them, saying, What man of you having 100 sheep, if he loseth one of them, doth not leave the 99 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost, until he find it? And when he hath found it, he layeth it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he calleth together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. I say unto you, that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 99 just persons, which need no repentance. Either a woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she loses one piece, doth not light a candle and seek diligently till she find it? And when she hath found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece of silver which I had lost. Likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth. And he also spake this parable. A certain man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his parents, Give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And they divided unto him their living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together, and took his journey into a fair country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his body with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father and mother, and will say unto them, My father and my mother, I have sinned against heaven and before you, and am no more worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his parents. But when he was a great way off, his mother and his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto them, My father, my mother, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight, and I am no more worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the best ripe fruits, and the bread and the oil and the wine, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field. And as he came, he drew nigh to the house and heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Thy brother who was lost is come back. And thy father and thy mother have prepared the bread and the oil and the wine and the best ripe fruits, because they have received him safe and sound. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years have I served thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandments. And yet thou never gavest me such goodly feast that I may make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son is come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou preparest for him a feast of the best that thou hast? And his father said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet, therefore, that we should be merry and be glad. For this thy brother was dead and is alive, and was lost and is found.